It's a beautiful day in East Rutherford, New Jersey, mainly because Detroit Lions were able to tack on their 6th win in 7 games. 20-17 is the final. Lions coming into the Jets' house for the second time this season at MetLife, and they're going back home to Detroit with a W. This game was a roller coaster. We will get to that first. However, everyone waits for it.
Yeah, it is.
I'll preface this with, he wanted to do some ballroom dancing, and the camera almost fell. So
That's
we're not doing that.
And we're keeping it simple because we expected this win, huh?
Yeah.
We expected that,
Ready?
right? There it is. Keep it simple. Keep it simple.
Keep it simple.
Yes.
Detroit Lions, they didn't really do that today. However, they did come out with a win. Like I mentioned, a little bit of a roller coaster. We'll get to that. Let's check in on the final stats of this game. First off, Detroit Lions able to keep Jets to 50 yards of rushing on the day. That is always a key number. Lions, meanwhile, able to get over that 100 rushing yard mark just barely. Jets edging out, and Zach Wilson edging out Detroit Lions in the pass game. However, it was the Jets' turnover, that interception by Jerry Jacobs. I think he took it 39 yards back the other way. And then Detroit also dominated in time of possession. What sticks out to you first, Lomas, when you take a look at those stats?
Well, tough, hard game, Danny, and we knew that. Both of these teams are fighting for their playoff lives, so we knew it was going to be a tough battle. Kind of knew it was going to come down to defense, even though we know we have an explosive offense. But just proud of the guys, how they were able to stay in this game, battle and battle and battle, put themselves in position late in this game to win it. That's all you could ask for a team to do. I thought the Lions did a very, very good job of doing that and taking advantage of their opportunities.
Every single phase in this Detroit Lions team showed up today.
Yep.
First off, it was the defense forcing Jets to go 3 and out. They'd come up with 4 sacks on the day. Romeo Cora getting in on 2 of those. His second game so far this season after coming back from Achilles. Then you have Kalif Raymond, who returns a punt return for a touchdown, 47 yards to the house. He's never done that in his 7-year career. And then finally, tight end Brock Wright finds the end zone. I thought no touchdowns from the offense was going to win this game today.
You're right. I thought so too, Danny. I'm like, wow. And then for us not to score, I mean, we got one of the top 5 offenses in this league. Like I say, give Jets a lot of credit. They played very well, especially in the secondary. But Danny, we made the plays when we had to make it. That's why we're walking out of here with the W.
I
guess that wasn't a W.
What is that?
But the W.
Yeah, sure, whatever that is. Quarterback Jared Goff, we've been talking about how elite he has been playing. He did go up against one of the best defenses in the NFL in those New York Jets. So his game wasn't exactly what it was last week, over 300 passing yards. He still was able to get the job done. Taking a look at his final stats now. Wasn't too shaken up in the pocket. No sacks there today from Jared Goff. And looking, he ended up with 23 of 38 passing, 252 yards and a touchdown. Not bad. It got the job done.
It did, Danny. It really did. And again, we knew both teams wanted to establish the run, because you establish the run, then everything else, play action, everything else comes off of that. So it was tough for both teams, but Jared hung in there. Jared made some nice throws, a lot more better throws than Zach Wilson made, but he made some nice throws. He put the team in position to have success, to win the game. And that's all you can ask for the quarterback, not make mistakes, put your team in position to win.
Yeah, he sure did. Like I mentioned, no sacks. Offensive line, some holding penalties on there a little bit.
But they look questionable too. You know, I wanted to talk to some of them referees after the game, because I thought one of them, especially on Evan Brown, I really thought one of them were really questionable that they called on him.
All right, you're watching the MGM Grand Detroit postgame show presented by the Detroit Lions. Let's go to the QB1, Jared Goff, who's standing by at the podium now.
For that play earlier in the drive, and he's a lot faster than people now. I think he ran like 4.6 40 or something, but he can roll. So when I got to him in open space right there, I'm like, he may score. He did.
Jared, where's the confidence of this team? It seems like on a lot of games you guys have had to take the ball and go downfield and score to take the lead ultimately in the final couple of minutes. Where's the level of confidence for this team?
Yeah, it's we said it after the game. A lot of these close games are starting to lean more towards us than they are towards them. And that hasn't always been the case around here. And I think we're starting to believe in each other, and well, not starting to, but we fully believe in each other. And just know somebody's going to make a play to do something right, and that's half the battle, and that's showing off for us a lot right now.
You're a pretty even-keeled guy, but was that as exhilarating for you as it was for a lot of people watching? I mean,
Yes, because we hadn't done much offensively the whole game, and specifically in the second half, hadn't really done anything. And I wasn't playing my best ball certainly there in the second half, and felt like okay, here's a drive where we can kind of make up for all lost previously. And Brock made a great play, but yeah, I was fired up, and our whole team was fired up.
About that call from Ben, sorry if you've been asked already, but pretty
Yeah.
crazy call there, just designed perfectly.
Yeah, it's a great call. It's an easy read, easy completion if we do it right, and we did it right. And again, getting a guy like Brock with some speed, didn't know he'd be that open, but when they are, it's pretty good.
About the defense, just the pressure that they've been
Yeah, they're
all
good.
day. Just facing that defense, what do you think?
Yeah, they're really good. They're really good, and they're one of the top 5, 6 defenses in the league for a reason, and really good at creating pressure with just 4 guys, and really good at mixing up coverages, and really aggressive. Both corners are really good. Both safeties are really good. Yeah, it's a good group, and they challenged us for most of that game, and we're happy to be able to get away with that.
They've held you out of the end zone that entire game.
Until the last play.
You need that touchdown, right? You need that touchdown, that final drive. So what's the source of confidence in that moment, in that huddle?
Yeah, we know what we need, and we know we've been moving the ball for most of the game. We had good plays, we had explosive plays, we had good drives, but that's a good defense, and they were stopping us quite a bit there, especially in the second half. And knew we needed one play, and there was certainly plays that I wish I would have made a little bit better throughout the game, and would have maybe made a difference there. But when it comes down to it, we made the play that mattered.
and what, if anything, did you say to Brock or he say to you after that first down drop?
Nothing. No, nothing. No, he's level. I trust him, and he's a great player.
We can speak then to the confidence in him to go back to him.
Yeah, he's wide open, and he's a guy that we trust. I mean, yeah, he had a drop, and guys have drops. I had a bunch of missed throws. I had missed reads, but he had a drop, so be it, and come right back to him and made a great play.
This is Wednesday, just about the maturity level of this football team. You talked about a little bit, you had lost a
Yeah.
lot of these games, but now you're starting to win. You're learning how to win these games, and for just
Yeah.
to pull it out at the end, what does it say about how
Yeah.
far this group's come?
Yeah, I think what we said after, you'd rather win ugly than lose pretty, and there was times early in the year where we were winning pretty in certain situations, and then kind of letting it fall away from us towards the end. And I think that's totally flipped where we're at now. We've won some games recently pretty handedly, but we've also won some close games, and won some games on the road close that we had to pull out, and things had to go our way towards the end. And is it going our way, or are we making a play? I'd lean toward making a play. Whether it was a sack on that last drive, or just things we did up front. We're starting to learn how to win, and how to win consistently in close games and tough environments. And yeah, it's a good, mature team now.
Try to hit.
You'll be watching the Giants-Commanders game tonight.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. We'll be watching. Again, we win them, we got a good chance. We don't win them, probably don't.
You saw he tried to hit James R.D. On
Yeah.
that play. Just talk about trying to develop him, the chemistry with him as well, and where do
Yeah.
you see him helping you guys for these
Yeah, I
games?
wish I would have thrown it a little bit earlier. I had to move in the pocket a little bit. That's one missed opportunity I felt like throughout the game I was thinking about. But yeah, him and I are moving along. Yeah, it's much better than it was 2 weeks ago, with just understanding his speed and what he's good at, and what he likes. And so yeah, we're moving right along, and it'll only get better from here.
Yes, Ben, earlier this week, just about Kalif's impact.
Yeah,
He had
huge.
a big game, not just in special teams, but on offense. Just one of the more unheralded guys on this offense. What did he give you today?
Yeah, he's a tremendous receiver as well as a punt returner. But when you have a guy that's supposed to be your gadget guy or your punt returner, and you can call choice route to him, like, that's rare. A guy that understands coverage, and a guy that knows where to be and what to do, and is always on time, and is always doing his thing. I spoke about this earlier in the year. Like, him and I have so many reps together. Now he's slid back in the depth chart a little bit because he's punt returning and J-Mo's back. But when he's out there, it's just like any other guy that I feel confident with, and that gives us a whole lot to have 4 or 5 guys, now 6, that we really feel really good about.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks, guys.
You just heard from quarterback Jared Goff. We talked about the run game a little bit.
Yeah.
Lomas, you're kind of surprised that it hasn't been on its P's and Q's as of late. The last time Lions run game really took a hold of a game was here, November 20th, against the New York Giants,
Yeah.
160 yards. What kept them from exploding there today?
Yeah, Danny, I'm really shocked at what you were telling me, because you're right. I thought we had been doing well over the hundreds these last few games, but just barely crossing over 100. And again, we all talk about how our offense is predicated on being able to run the ball. So that's something that I think the Lions are going to have to turn around and look at. But Danny, you look at today with Jets running the wide technique, they're going to make it impossible for you to get outside. So you're going to have to run in the middle, and we know they're pretty strong in the middle. So great game plan by the Jets, but we're going to have to really concentrate on trying to get our run game going again.
That run game affecting so much of the play
That's
action.
right.
So how were the Detroit Lions really able to get this one done today?
Yeah, I mean, again, great effort from the guys, staying in the game. We hurt ourselves early with penalties, like you said. Penalties killed us today, and we left points on the board, Danny. We left so many points on the board. You can say the same about the Jets, but we really did. So, again, we're going to have to get back to being one of the best red zone teams, which we had been, one of the top scoring teams. When we get our opportunity, we're going to have to put 7 on the board instead of 3.
Yeah, Detroit Lions coming into today, number 1 in the NFL in red zone efficiency. 75% of the time, they're going to score a touchdown. They walked away with a field goal at one point. Not quite good enough. So what do they need to do to really get that number up in the red zone back?
Yeah, so I think being more consistent. So we see DeAndre getting healthier. Well, we know Jamal has been kind of our bell cow all year long. Offensive line has been doing a great job. I just think, Danny, they just need to keep doing what they're doing. You're not going to win all the battles. Those guys get paid across the ball too, so they have some pride to themselves too. But again, keep doing what we're doing. Make sure that when we have opportunities to convert third downs, we have to convert those third downs.
Detroit Lions have certainly taken advantage of a lot of opportunities over the last 7 weeks, winning 6 games in that span. Let's hear, though, from the head coach, Dan Campbell, now, who's standing by at the podium.
And then, I mean, our defense has to take the field with 149, 3 timeouts by the opponent. And, you know, to get in field goal range, and we stop them, man. We come up with some critical sacks and hurries, and, you know, we covered well. And so we just, man, it was great. And I think that's part of the maturing process, the growth, everything, because I don't know if we'd have made those plays early in the year, you know, it would have gone the other way. But that just shows we're getting more mature, and we're becoming more disciplined in the critical moments, and that's big.
After their touchdown, you haven't been in the end zone all day, but you need to score. Where's your confidence rooted at that point in your offense?
Well, mine is just, hey, we just got to get first downs. You know, we had the time, we had plenty of time, but you know, you basically got one possession to get down there now. But so with that. You know, you kind of know you're in 4-down mentality, and so now you just find a way to get the next first down, and then, you know, you end up in a 4th and 1, and you don't think that play is going to be a touchdown. I wouldn't have thought that. I thought it could be an explosive. It's a first down and explosive, you know, but you know, Brock turned it up, and then we get a good block out of Reynolds, and so that was it was great, but no, I that's what I thought of is, hey, all right, well, now we got our back against the wall, and you basically got 4 downs. Let's go to work, and our guys really showed up when we needed it.
You guys have been on the other side of that, though, experiencing other moments. Just how does it feel to get some breaks and kind of be on the other side, do the show that stands in the tide a little bit?
Yeah, listen, it feels great. It does. You'll never take away from winning. You can never take away from winning, and not in this league, you know. And I told our guys, nobody knows that better than we do. I mean, we're not gonna talk trash about a win. You know, a win is a win, and we'll take that because we earned that. Our guys earned that, and but the reality is, moving forward, we do have to clean a few of these things up that could have cost us today and will cost us down the road. But a win feels great, and you know, the guys, you know, they believe, and now here we go. This is another win, but it was a different way to have to win. We had to find a different way to win, another way to win. And every time that happens, you just continue to grow and you start figuring things out and your confidence grows.
More about the fourth down call, the job Brock did selling that block. I mean, I think we've seen that play before. Jared said he hit one for a touchdown before. But him selling that block, and then the confidence of Ben, Jared, everyone to go back to him after, a drop on that series.
Yeah, no, look, I don't think that didn't shake my confidence. I mean, he had a drop early. Listen, a lot of people had drops. We had some drops out there today, So we just felt like the way we run the ball and the situation we were in, it would be there as long as he sold it. And he's a pretty disciplined player. He always has been. So we figured he would be pretty open. And it worked out that way. It's about getting through the trash, which he did. And Goff gave him a good ball. He makes a play, and then he did the rest. I mean, he did the rest. He turned it up. He runs pretty good once he gets his hips upfield.
Dan, sorry if you've been asked this before, but the idea that you're at 500 from 1-6, you probably didn't think a lot about that at 1-6, but could you have imagined? Very often.
No, I mean, I don't know. See, it's hard to answer because you'll be better. It'll be better. You just don't know how it's going to get there or what it's going to be. But you do know if you start playing better football, you can rattle off some wins in a row. I think that's the best way to say it. And so I didn't know what it would look like, how it would be, but no, that's kind of the idea. You start playing pretty good football and you rattle off 2 or 3 in a row. Something may happen, you rattle off 2 or 3 in a row, and if that's good enough to get in, great. If it's not, it didn't work out, we didn't do enough early. But that's when you start playing pretty good football, that happens. So listen, that's a credit to our coaches and our guys. I got some great coordinators and some great assistant coaches, and the players, man, they're feeling it. They're starting to feel it, and they're taking ownership into this team, and we're getting better because of it.
It's another way to win. Just how important is it to bank this kind of a win, and win in different ways, and know that you can win in different kind of ways, come from behind, playing well offensively, being a special teams defense. You've won a lot of different ways now over this streak. How important is that down the stretch to kind of bank some of those and know that you can win different ways? Yeah,
they're all important. Because I think it's important to know that you get in that critical moment and all doesn't look well and you get in a critical fourth, that you can make that play, and that it doesn't necessarily mean we're at the 2-minute and you're going to get a 5-yard gain for a first down. It can mean at any moment, even Brock Wright can take it for a touchdown. For how long was that touchdown? 51-yard touchdown. Even Brock Wright can do that. It's possible with some blocking from a teammate, and everything just lines up perfectly, and you do it right. And we're not even talking about much less Swift or Saint or Shark. I mean, some of the playmakers we have. So it didn't quite go there, but it can happen. Just do your job, and you can't hone in on it. What if we don't? What if we don't? And what if we don't make this play? Or what if we get? No, you just go make the play, line up and cut it loose.
In the fourth quarter, you had a decision to make that was very similar to your decision in Minnesota early in the season. A little bit different time, but 54-yard field goal, or maybe pin a struggling offense deep.
Yeah, it was tough.
How did you come to the decision that you did, and how, I guess, nervous were you when it backfired the way that it did?
Yeah, I mean, it was tough, and that was one of those, man. That was a hard decision one way or another, because I really did. I wanted to go for it. We had just thrown the ball. It didn't work out. It's incomplete. You're probably going to need to throw it again. And we were just on that fringe, man. We were so close to where, I felt really good about Badgley. It was on that line. And so I took a shot, and it didn't work out, It didn't work out. But that was the end to go. If you were going to kick it a little longer, you wanted to go that way.
Raymond, Kalif, I don't know if we asked you or Ben.
Kalif Raymond?
I don't know if we asked you or Ben about him earlier this week, but just, he's come up with big plays on third downs. He had the punt return.
Yeah.
They finally got the end zone. What's he meant to this team about that return?
I just gave him a game ball. He's our Iron Man. He is our Iron Man. He does everything for us. He's been in there through some of the injuries we've had at receiver. It's just been he's been there every day, man, for every game, every practice. He just goes, and he's selfless. He's disciplined. He's a hard worker. He's smart. He's productive. He endears himself to his teammates, and he's versatile. So he can block. He can play in the slot. He can play outside. He's got run after catch. He's a damn good punt returner. I think he'd be a great gunner too. But we got to, we want to be smart with how we use him. But he does everything for us, and he doesn't bat an eye. He doesn't whine. He doesn't complain. It's never too hard. There's never too job that's too much. He just goes. What do you need me to do, and I'll go. And you can't have enough of those guys.
Sean Elliott?
Yeah, no, I don't. I don't know where that is going to be. I hadn't talked to our trainer yet exactly to see how bad that really is.
Kind of a quiet debut for Romeo. AG said he was getting his legs back under him.
Yeah.
Comes out today, 4 tackles, 2 sacks. I mean, just to see that kind of production after the long rehab and layoff that he had, what does that mean to him and to you guys?
Yeah, it means a lot. To have Romeo back, just to have him in the fold with us. First of all, he's an unbelievable locker room guy. He's a hard worker, and then on top of that, to have his length. He plays the run well. He can rush the passer. You can work him on a guard inside. You can work him outside. So look, he was better than he was last week. He's gotten a little bit better, and there's some things that really showed up today, and I'd anticipate him getting even better next week for Carolina. It's good to have him back.
Dan, now that you're level, with a few games left, and the playoffs are a real possibility, and the expectation that's probably going to start to change, is that a different, not hurdle, but maybe issue in some ways with your team because of the psychology that starts to change?
Well, here's what it is, because I kind of felt like when we came in at halftime, I felt this way a little bit. I felt like there were some mistakes that we were making because we were afraid to fail. There was a little bit of an afraid of failure in some areas that I had not felt, and so that was just something we talked about. And I think more than anything, that to me is what's going to be critical. I don't think it's about taking the cheese, all that, because we can play. We got a good enough team to play. Our deal has got to be, man, we can't become so tense and start doing things that we weren't doing. There's a reason why we've gotten to this point, that we've gotten to this point, and we're beginning to win. And if we start, becoming so tense and uptight from everything that we're so afraid that we're going to lose, and then you don't get it, that you are not going to win that way. So I think that's what we have to guard against, which we'll do a great job. We'll be on it. But we're getting better as a team.
Welcome back to the Detroit Lions post-game show presented by MGM Grand Detroit. You just heard head coach Dan Campbell talk about how much growth his team has had, saying we might not have made those plays earlier on in the season. Yep. They're making those plays now because of the growth. Another player who has grown tremendously throughout his 7-year career in the league is Kalif Raymond. Yes. He is a stud on punt returns for this team. He's also what coach calls a gadget in that offense. He can pretty much go anywhere and catch any ball you need him to. Kalif, 53 yards on 5 receptions, just second to Amon-Ra today there in the pass game. But we have to talk about that 47-yard punt return. I thought that was going to be the only score the Lions had in the end zone today. And Kalif set the tone early on in the first quarter with that. What did you see on the punt return?
Well, he set his blocks up brilliantly, Danny. I mean, it was a piece of artwork to watch how he operated. And it was just great to see. Those guys were able to get downfield. I'm talking about the guys on punt return, able to get some great blocks from him. And I can't forget who got the last great block to get him in the end zone. But it was a great effort to get him in there. A much-needed play, especially special teams. It might be our first special teams touchdown of the year, but it was great, came at a great time today.
It certainly did.
Yes.
And Kalif, he used to play here for the New York Jets.
That's right.
A story that ran earlier this year from Justin Rogers. He muffed a couple of punts here in New York. Didn't spend a whole lot of time here playing for the Jets and would bounce around to a couple of teams. He's landed in Detroit. The Lions are more than happy to have Kalif on their side. I had the chance to speak with Kalif post-game. Let's check in on that interview. Kalif in the first quarter.
Promo him, please.
In In the first quarter, you're responsible for that 47-yard punt return, the first punt return of your career. Coach says you're explosive, pound for pound, one of the better players on this team. How did that explosiveness help you in returning that punt?
Well, first, and it's crazy to say this, I prayed more than I prayed ever in my career, man. And every time that I've asked for one, Lord bless me with one. And this year, man, that was special. And then you said I am, but man, I would say we. I always tell people I've never seen a returner break 11 tackles. We had Jerry Amani, James Houston on the block at the end. I mean, dude, I almost went untouched dang there. So I'm just thankful for those guys, man. It's a pleasure. If it's any testament how hard this league is, it took 7 years. So I was just thankful my family was here to watch. So.
Yeah, you handed that game ball to your mom, who's in one of the first few rows. Having your family here to witness it, you talked about 7 years in the league. How special is this moment, especially with family there?
Very special. It's like they come to every game, every single one. At least one member of my family is there. So at the end of the day, man, it's so special to cherish that moment with them. But also have a different peace of mind knowing that they're there no matter what happens. So anything happen in ball, but I got my family with me at the end of the day.
Coach Campbell said this would be a heavyweight fight. One of the best offenses in the league with Detroit going up against one of the best defenses in the league with the Jets. Why were the Lions the ones to outlast that last bell?
I think it's just this game's a war, man. It's a battle every quarter, and we went to the locker room telling those guys, man, look, man, it's a battle. Just keep fighting, man. It's a battle, and at the end of the day, the person that can persevere the longest, or the team that can persevere the longest, they're gonna come out on top, man. So we just kept throwing punches even down to the last minute. Last second, literally, is a fight. So just proud of our guys, proud of the character of our guys. So.
Thank you. Wide receiver and punt returner Kalif Raymond is, of course, our player of the game. He also, I think, caught that big pass on 4th and 1 near the end of the game.
Absolutely.
As well. So coming up in pivotal roles today, he talked about James Houston, the rookie, who, like you mentioned, was one of the end blockers on that punt return for a touchdown. James?
Ride me, G. Ride me, G.
I got you.
What do you have to say, man?
Yeah. Hey.
How viral would that call?
Find a way, man. Just find a way. You know what? How often do they lose that game? Like every time.
Exactly right.
Every time. That field goal is good by 10 yards most times. But you know what? They found a way. It wasn't pretty. They got it done. And maybe, just something's changing around here.
Yeah.
From just luck, figuring out a way, and it's just it was good. Wasn't beautiful. Wasn't beautiful.
But like you said, 6 out of 7.
Yeah.
Come on, man. We
6
hadn't
out of
heard
7.
that
From
a
1
lot
and 6
around
to
there.
6 out
There
of
you
7.
go.
You guys know what
Love
it is. Say it with me. Brand new Lions.
Lions.
Come on,
Brand new. Okay.
Brand new
All right.
Brand
All right. New Lions.
There it is.
The voice of the Lions, Dan Miller.
That's
I don't
right,
know
the
why we don't
voice.
have him stop in every time.
Thank you.
I was getting into
Thank
James
you.
Houston on that, the rookie, who him and Aiden Hutchinson lead the league in terms of rookies in TFLs. They added a couple there today between the both of them, and they also lead the league in sacks in rookies as well, right? James Houston added another one today, 5 sacks in 4 games. How insane is his production?
I played for 18 years, played in the 80s, 90s, and the 2000s. I can't remember a player coming in and making that kind of impact. Like you said, what, 5 sacks?
5 sacks, 4 games.
That's crazy to me. And again, it's like teams know him now. It's not like he's sneaking up on anybody. Teams know number 59. They study for him. They game plan against this guy. But some kind of way he seems to be able to get to that quarterback. That's a knack, Danny.
Yeah.
That's a knack that's natural, and he has it. I'm so happy for that young man.
Was there a Houston hop on that? I only saw the sack. I didn't see the off the line.
No, he didn't. No, I didn't see the hump.
Okay,
I didn't
so
see the hump.
coaches have gotten it across. Do not do that.
Right.
We thoroughly enjoy it, though, James Houston. Okay, play of the game. In case you live under a rock,
Yes.
it has to go to that touchdown Brock Wright, tight end, had. I mean, the only catch of the day, 51-yard touchdown
man.
score. We were waiting for that pass game to open up. How perfectly, under just over 2 minutes to go in this game, it goes to Brock Wright for the touchdown.
So, Danny, I'll give Ben Johnson credit because I
Yes.
thought the play design was wonderful. They faked everybody one direction, had Brock Wright delay and just leak out, and there was nobody there. I mean, he was just running. And I like the
It was a
curve.
little slow.
Yeah,
I'm like,
it was
is he gonna-
like a slow developing play,
It was
but he
very
got
slow.
there. He got there for us and everything.
We're not dissing the big man. He
no,
can run.
not at all,
But it
man.
looked like it was a slow developing play. You're correct.
You're right, but he got to where he needed to get at, which was that end zone. So that was the biggest play for us. It came at the right time, and it sealed the victory. That sealed the victory for us.
It truly did. That is Brock Wright's second touchdown of the season. Talking a little bit more about the defense, we have to talk about Romeo Cora coming in with 2 sacks. You heard Coach talk about how great it is just to have him in that defensive mix. What did you see out of Romeo that can keep elevating that defense?
Well, Danny, I've never had the Achilles tear that he had, and I heard that's always hard to come back off
One of the hardest,
Yes, and for him to come in 2 sacks today, have an impact the way he had an impact on this game, sounds like he's ready to roll. And the timing couldn't have been better, Danny, because again, now we're in our playoff stretch and our run to try to get into the playoffs, getting healthy at the right time. Just everything is starting to click for the Lions right now, and having Romeo Cora not just on the field, but in that locker room, because he's a big presence in that locker room with those young guys. That's only going to help us.
I agree. Okay, let's take a look at some scores around the NFL.
All right.
Spoiler, we coming off the field saw a loss by the Dallas Cowboys. We'll go through this slowly. Can't see our screen, so bear with us on this order. 49ers getting it done over the Seahawks. We know that. That was Thursday night. Colts, Vikings yesterday. That was insane.
That bombed us out
yesterday. It did. Vikings win by 3. Yesterday also, if you guys have not checked in yet, Browns got the win over the Ravens. Bills got it very narrowly over the Dolphins in that snowball fight. No, thank you, Snow. Saints today getting the win over the Falcons just barely by 3 points. Lions, of course, getting it done against the Jets.
Yes.
Jaguars put up 40 points on that
defense. Oh, my
Cowboys,
goodness.
34. Bears just losing by 5 points to the Eagles. I think Jalen Hurts threw a couple of 2 interceptions. It looks like not great there for Philly, but they get it done. Steelers getting the win over the Panthers. Hello, Lions fans. Keep that in mind. Panthers are on the clock next week. Christmas Eve. Chiefs narrowly escape the Texans.
Wow.
Okay,
The
Texans
Texans, they are, Jenny. They're trying to, Danny.
They're trying to do
They're
something.
trying.
And currently in progress, Cardinals versus Broncos. They're tied up. Patriots, Raiders are also tied up. Bucks by 3 over the Bengals currently. And then Chargers over the Titans right now. Okay. And then later on tonight, Commanders, Giants, which we know will be a big
game for us, right? Playoff hunt, looking at everything.
Yep.
So, yeah.
Good thing Lions beat the both.
Thank you. I like that.
So that's very nice.
There you go.
Very nice of them. I mentioned it. Carolina Panthers are on the clock Christmas Eve next week. So it's very nice. All of these guys, staff, us will be home on Christmas Eve, like on Christmas Day in our own beds. It's phenomenal. But first, Panthers are coming up. We know they made a head coaching switch from Matt Rule.
Yes.
We know they traded Christian McCaffrey over there to the San Francisco 49ers. What does this Carolina Panthers team look like right now?
Well, they're a hard-fighting team. I mean, they haven't been getting blown out of any games. They seem to be in games. And again, they have some guys there. They don't have household names there, but they seem to play well as a unit. And they're doing well on the defensive side of the ball. So defense will keep those guys in there, and they're hoping that offense, Sam Darnold, hopefully those guys can move the ball.
They moved on from Baker Mayfield, who has seemed to find a home with the LA Rams.
Don't bring that up either, because that hurt too.
This league is crazy this year.
Is.
Okay, Carolina is up next Saturday, by the way, not Sunday. Don't miss the game.
That's right.
It's great for us. Lomas, what are your final takeaways here from New Jersey?
My final thoughts is we came back here. This is our second road trip to the Meadowlands, to New York. Came in the first time, kicked some butt. And guess what, Danny? We came back the second time and kicked some more butt. The Lions are playing well right now. Hopefully this is our push towards the playoffs. Hey, look. If you're a team, you don't want to face us right now. We're dangerous. I'm feeling dangerous right now, Danny.
I can tell.
Yes.
Wow. You're scary. You're doing that like eyebrow thing to me. He doesn't care about the microphone anymore. For Lomas Brown, he is so goofy. I'm Danny Rogers. Thanks so much for tuning in to the Detroit Lions post-game show presented by MGM Grand Detroit. We are going back on a plane to Detroit. Boys have a lot of work to do facing those Carolina Panthers next week on Christmas Eve. We'll see you there.